Hey guys, this is BoomX recording a video. I had, by the way, no idea that I could record my own audio with my videos. Trying it out, see how it works. Let me know what you guys think. Like I was posting on our channel, I'm currently on a 10-game winning streak with 4 engine rooms on Warships Season 6, and I found the formula that seems to be working. And it's hilarious to see the attack pattern that everybody else seems to be following, and I'll show you an example. This is the earliest one, so if you watch the enemy replay, you can see that with my base scattered with the 4 engine rooms spread all the way across, you see them attacking with all heavy choppers over here, just flaring the engine rooms and taking them out one by one, and then using GBE for the closest engine room. So basically the choppers go all the way around from this engine room to that one, long walk all the way across. So you see the flare go over there, and this one, the closest one, is being GBE'd by the player. You can see that he's down to just 1 artillery to take that one down. In the meantime, the heavy choppers are making their way across my base and destroying engine rooms. This works very effectively, and you can see that, the chances are that you're going to win most attack battles. You're going to finish and destroy all 4 engine rooms. But the weakness comes in because you don't always win fast enough because it's a long walk all the way across the base. And you can see that this is a very popular strategy right now that you can see. Okay, so he's finished the engine rooms on my base, and the time on that one was 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. You can see I beat them by 13 seconds, and you can see a similar pattern with this guy. I'm going to zoom through these and just show that the attack pattern is the same, right? All heavy choppers on the lower left-hand side. Next one, all heavy choppers, left-hand side. Notice a pattern here. 4th one, enemy replay. All heavy choppers, left-hand side. 5th one, enemy replay. Surprise. The only variability seems to be that sometimes the opponent brings brick, sometimes the opponent brings Kavan, but 8 heavy choppers on the left-hand side. The only variance that was among these 10 opponents was this one here, where I made a mistake. But even then, and let's watch this guy's replay. It's a little bit different. It's not all heavy choppers on the left-hand side. He actually does a split attack with some heavy choppers and Zuka on both sides over here, and another set of troops on this side in just a second. Right there you go. Again, heavy choppers and Zuka on this side with brick. And he finishes successfully, clearly. He uses GBE, I believe, to destroy the engine room in the back. Oh, sorry, just the one in the front. So he's still going through all those defenses and walking all the way to the back of my base. Successful, but not necessarily the fastest. The rest of them are all heavy choppers. This one is also a good different strategy, a 2-way split, but again, it's heavy choppers. And looks like he's done heavy choppers and bombardiers over here. And all heavy choppers over there. The mistake that he makes here is that he flares to the engine room on the left, and all the choppers so this guy gets flared, right? There's the engine room that gets flared, and all the troops on the right-hand side walk across the base to attack the engine room over there. And that's fine because it brings the heavy choppers closer to the room in the back, and that's okay. That's a strategy that I've seen on other YouTubers' videos, but it still ended up being roughly the same amount of time left as the all heavy choppers walking across the base tactic that we saw a number of other opponents use. So going back to, and here's the gist of my strategy, right? My strategy is a little bit different, so I'm just going to pick the first one, right? You can see that I'm beating by 13 seconds, by 15 seconds, by 12 seconds. So, these are significant wins. It's not like squeaking out a win with 1 second left or 1 second differential or a tie. Here's my strategy. Now, you notice that there's 3 engine rooms, one close to the beach over here, this one over here, one close to the beach over here, and one relatively close to the beach over there, and that one all the way in the back is the longest walk no matter where you land. So my thought is, let's split 3 ways, with a heavy chopper in front, absorbing damage, and bombardiers. So on the first side, I do 1 heavy chopper and 1 bombardier, because it's the closest one to, that engine room is the closest one to the shore, so I can do that. This one, I send a heavy chopper and 2 bombardier boats. Oh, sorry, I guess I got that one wrong. On this side, because it's the farthest one in, I went with 1 heavy chopper and 3 boats of bombardiers. And I brought Kavan with his second wind to bring in some riflemen because they do some good damage and Kavan can heal them a little bit. But in the end, what ends up happening is that I use GBE to destroy the one in the back, the farthest one away, the one that would take the longest for my troops to get to, and I use my troops to destroy the engine rooms that are in the front. Now, you can see that this is a fairly effective strategy. In the end, what I do is I eventually flare that last engine room because that's always the last one to go. But I ended up winning. And not just that time, but my strategy is the same for all of these attacks. Here's my replay. I'm going to kind of zip through these, right? Again, this one's easier because you can see that the engine room on the right-hand side is so close to the beach. And again, so I brought Kavan, and I realized after this attack that maybe it made more sense to bring Brick because she can make the troops shoot faster, and that's really what I'm relying on. Not so much about more troops, but the fact that I've got some pretty devastating bombardiers here that can do a lot of damage. If they can amp up their damage with battle orders, that might be a better choice. Same thing here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see that my strategy is the same thing here. 2 on this side, 3 in there, 3 there. And the one that makes the most sense, the engine room that's farthest away from the shore, is the one that I generally bring Brick for so that she can help the troops destroy more buildings on the way faster. Now, you notice in my attacks, the only time that I flare is at the end when the 2 side engine rooms are destroyed, and I flare the troops to the middle engine room so that they don't have to worry about walking all the way across and try to walk through enemy defenses and lose focus on their specific engine room. I'm dividing up my tasks so they go at it in parallel. The one that was the closest was this one. It was a 2-second differential. This is the one where the enemy did a heavy chopper split between the 2 sides, and it was pretty effective, I would say, maybe, potentially. But they made the mistake of flaring to the engine room on the one side. I think this was the one where they flared to the engine room on the one side. Yeah, you can see right here that they flare. Oh, they didn't. Never mind. So they actually did a pretty good job here. But they didn't use GBE. They eventually used GBE to destroy the engine room down here. But they had to walk the base a little bit while they were waiting for the other engine room on the right-hand side to be destroyed. The troops on the left-hand side had to walk the base and take up time to do that. So it was close because I made a mistake in my drop, and the mistake that I made was, here it is right here. Instead of doing a heavy chopper, and I accidentally dropped a second heavy chopper on this side, so the bombardiers over here had no cover, especially with like a shock launcher that hits the target's ground troops. So I brought Brick over here. I was originally planning to put Brick over here because there's more defenses over here. But it ended up being successful anyway because the opponent made a couple of small mistakes. And in the end, the strategy still worked. I still had these guys destroying that room over there, these guys destroying that room over there, and I lost 2 heavy choppers. But in the end, I was able to shock the shock launcher and then use that last flare to get these guys over here and destroy the engine room. I used whatever remaining GBE I had to kill that one. So in the end, it was a victory, not a great, well-played victory, but it was still a victory in the end. And then the other one that I wanted to show you guys was this one here. Right, so for my replay over here, same type of strategy. And the idea was that whichever engine room is farthest inland, that's the one to bring Brick for. So she can help the troops destroy those defenses in front of the engine room faster. So you'll see I'm using battle orders right here in just a moment, right? So my bombardiers are firing faster. My heavies that the heavy chopper is dropping, they're firing faster. And in the end, all the troops end up successfully destroying the engine rooms. So that's the strategy. Seems to be effective right now until other people catch on, but hopefully this will help you guys come up with your own options on how to go about attacking bases with 4 engine rooms. Oh, wanted to show you this as well, right? So my tech tree, the last 2 chests that I got, I upgraded my bombardiers. So the first few replays in this set of 10 were with level 3 bombardiers. I've since upgraded them to level 4, which covered a few of the replays, and then level 5, which is what I have right now. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's blasting through, opponents' engine rooms. It's the same thing that I've been complaining about on the chat, is that it seems a little bit formulaic. There's not a whole lot of creativity. There's not a whole lot of variety in either my attacks or the opponent's attacks. But there you have it. Let me know if any questions. Thanks, guys.